Okay, today I'm with Jason Maschhoff. Jason Maschhoff recently joined our team. Jason's an agronomist and has a great amount of past experience, and we're excited to have him on board. Jason, welcome to the team. Tell us a little bit about your past and yourself and where you've come from.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Well, excited to be on board, number one, and have this opportunity. And guess a little bit about myself. Currently live in Lake Ozark, Missouri, but myself and my wife are from Illinois, both from farm families. So we've been married going on 25 years. We're getting close to 25 years. So we're blessed to have two young ladies. One's a freshman in college, and then I've got another daughter that's a junior in high school, and we're looking forward to getting her into college. So that's a little bit about my family. We still operate our family farm in Southern Illinois, and excited to still be able to do that. I guess a little bit about my past experience. My bachelor's and master's degrees are in plant and soil science and specialized in row crops, and more specifically in chemical research. For most people, they probably know Liberty herbicide. It's what I did 4 years worth of work on, and the label work for bringing that to market. And then once I got out of graduate school, I spent about 7 years in an agronomy role, field agronomist and agronomy manager with Pioneer. Learned a lot of things, interacted with a lot of growers around the Midwest, and was very fortunate to serve them. At that juncture of life, we had two girls, and my wife and I kind of decided, we wanted to take control a little bit of our time, and we decided to start our own business, and we shifted gears into risk management. And for most of the last 17 years, we've done various things around the crop insurance industry, helping farmers manage risk, and then utilizing other things, tools, and how I got introduced to drip irrigation to help farmers kind of manage and protect their farm entity. So that's a little bit about my past experience and my family, Kurt.
Very good. Appreciate that. So here at NutraDrip, we've seen the need over the last several years to dig deeper into agronomy, and it's one of the reasons we brought Jason on board. As growers come to us after we put the drip system in and have that hunger for learning what they can do more and better with their drip system and on their farm, how they can increase yield, how they can better manage nutrients, better manage water, and ultimately get a better return on investment. So those are the reasons that we're really diving into this agronomy piece. What are some of the opportunities and challenges that you see, Jason, as you come into this space, challenges that growers are facing and things you're excited to address?
Yeah, well, I think number one, there's a lot of information in the industry. There's a lot of different products. There's a lot of different companies. So I think number one is finding a trusted partner that the growers can rely on and be able to listen and absorb that data and feel like they're getting information from the right places. So obviously want to help NutraDrip continue that and being a trusted advisor for growers. And as we think about the marketplace and how economics are changing, from an agronomy standpoint, understanding what you're doing, why you're doing it, why you're spending the money, or why you shouldn't spend the money to be more profitable. So ultimately, our goal is always to, make farmers profitable, make their business something that has longevity. And, within NutraDrip, taking irrigation, fertigation, biological data, understanding what's going on, and being able to help farmers do better at what they do is just an exciting piece, and we want to be that trusted partner, and I want to look forward to helping everybody with that process.
Very good. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of information out there, and I think that's one of the challenges we've had in the past is how do we take the data we have and the information we have and and we know that agronomy is a dynamic thing that changes every day, and the great agronomy answer is it depends. And so how do we get that field specific information and get the growers the right information at the right time? So I think, as I think about all the tissue sample or sap sample or soil moisture probe data, all those feeds that are coming in throughout the season, and how do we manage that and have the bandwidth to help our growers achieve the goals that they have. I think that's some of the things that I'm excited about. A couple pieces of technology that we worked with last year was the NutraSense sensor, where we were looking at in-season nitrogen and potassium in the soil. So it's a soil sensor that actually measures those nutrients in the soil. And I look at that potential of being able to do that in season, but at the same time, somebody has to manage that. Somebody has to interpret that data, and that's why I think, adding the agronomy services and how we can really help our growers with the technology that's available now today. I think it's a great fit. Maybe talk a little bit about some of your past experience around risk mitigation, and how does drip irrigation fit into that realm, and how do you view irrigation in general?
Yeah, absolutely. So from risk mitigation, obviously crop insurance was the foundation of what we were doing at the time. But the number one risk for farmers, especially in the Midwest, is water. And that can be lack of water or too much water, but predominantly, statistically, it's lack of water. So, when I got introduced to this technology, I think it was in 2017 when someone introduced to me subsurface drip irrigation, especially in geographies where they didn't have plentiful water for, say, a pivot system. I was quickly intrigued. And if I wanted to truly help a farmer manage risk, there was no better technology than adding water to their fields in some fashion. So from a risk mitigation, if you can manage especially lack of water, you've taken a substantial amount off your plate risk-wise. So since that time, and made a phone call to you at some point and said, hey, I want to learn more about this technology. How can I help my clients in the Midwest protect their yield? And then as you've grown this company, it's how can we increase those yields through fertigation and biologicals and all the research you're doing. So man, from a risk mitigation standpoint, there's not much better out there to help farmers, whether it's protect yield, number one, and then exceedingly grow their yield potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I think about, be able to offer growers this coming year, I'd like to highlight just a few of those things. So as growers have in-season soil samples, tissue samples, being able to look at their in-season practices, those are some of the things that we're really going to want to get engaged on. Our goal is not to replace the on-farm agronomist or whatever agronomist the grower's working with today. We want to be more of a support mechanism to support the decisions that are being made in the season. So if growers have questions during the growing season, what should I be applying? What are these tissue samples telling me? Obviously, we need a year or two of data from that particular field to really get a good handle on what's going on. But that's really our goal, is to step in as a support mechanism to help growers manage what's going on in those drip fields. We're not going to be offering weekly scouting or any necessarily in-field services, but it's more data analytics and being able to understand and interpret the data that's coming out of the field through different sampling mechanisms or sensors that we have in the field. So excited to have that offered for our growers this year. We're not charging for that this first year, so we're kind of in a test or beta version here as we roll this out and get the pieces put in place to help growers. We also want to mention we have another part-time agronomist we've hired in Nebraska, Miles Peterson. So Miles will be focusing on growers specifically in the Nebraska region, and then Jason will cover the growers kind of in the rest of our growing area and the areas we service. So any other closing thoughts, Jason, on what you're looking forward to this year?
Well, yeah, just look forward to new relationships with some growers in the Midwest, being that additional partner that you mentioned, being able to start compiling data and help them sort through it. And given, NutraDrip has such experience around the Midwest, how can we pull what we've learned around through other farmers and bring that into, hopefully some more specific points for farmers to consider going forward. So thoroughly excited to be on the NutraDrip team. It's been a pleasure to be around them for the last 6-7 years. They are servants, and that's what we want to do. We want to continue to serve your clients and new ones, hopefully, as they come about.
Very good. Look forward to it. We'll look forward to visiting with you as the growing season progresses.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kurt.